welcome Shanthini Venugopal.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I'm Shanthini Venugopal, and here you see all the things that I do right now in my life. But I started off with my passion, which is singing. And early on in life, I realized that I had to always, when I keep with the times, I have to reinvent my life by seizing opportunities that come my way. Being a pioneer member of the Instant Cafe Theatre Company taught me acting, writing, and about satire. ICT tackled aspects of the social and political climate around the world of that point in time. We reflected it in skits and songs through humor. For example, when Malaysia was ranked number 1 in the Viagra market, Viagra for men, they use it, pick up women. This drug makes all men happy. This drug, legal ecstasy. Another example. When Malaysians were ranked number 1 in the world of obesity, we eat all the time, discuss dinner at lunchtime. Don't need to exercise. We love our flabby thighs. 'Cause beauty is obese. Now this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the wise words from well-known UK casting director Priscilla John, this role in Anna and the King. Before my third callback to audition in front of the Hollywood producers and director of this movie, I asked her, what are my chances? Because the date given, I was supposed to go on holiday with my son to Penang. She looked me straight in the eye and said, Shanthini, I can tell you one thing for sure. If you don't turn up, you won't be casted. So I said, bye-bye Penang, Hollywood, here I come. Now I started the Jumping JellyBeans, and when there was a downturn in the economy. And example of how we create our shows. We did research on Cinderella, and we found 1,000 versions of it. And so we created 1,001 version of Cinderella, where we did a mishmash of all the versions found in the world. For example, in Italy, Cinderella is a chicken. In India, the fairy godmother is a serpent. In China, the shoe is a clog. In our story, the prince who finds the shoe loses it and hires an investigative company to find it. Through hilarious scenes created, the bungling investigative company finally finds the shoe. Our last scene is a showstopper, where we have the prince and Cinderella come out on stilts performing a dance. We have since taught children the art of stilts walking. We also get inspiration from paintings. Tararata, Jean Miro's first surrealistic painting, saw us creating a breathtaking performance using lights and the coming alive of various characters found in the painting. Now, what we do is we teach children that they don't need to buy expensive props and sets. They can just use their imagination and find everyday things to create their stories, and we are always encouraging them to create their own stories. This is Tilled Fields. Now, I never imagined that I'd be writing a children's book. What makes it stand out from the hundreds of books out there for children is that I invited 22 children to be an illustrator for one page of my book. The youngest was 8 years old. I opened it to any child with a passion for visual arts, and I'm proud that it includes a drawing from a child with special abilities. I didn't restrict or give them set rules, and because of this, the drawings of their interpretation of my story were beyond anything I envisaged. My latest reinvention, I realize, is the most challenging of them all. It's my decision to start an online storytelling podcast earlier this year. # a storytelling podcast with a difference. It encourages listening to stories without visual aids, which nowadays is predetermined on sites we visit. We not only feature professional storytellers, we also give a platform to anyone with a passion for telling stories. So far, we have featured a 6-year-old right through to a 40-year-old telling stories from all over the world. Another difference from other storytelling podcasts is playing songs. I love songs. And these are from recording artists and up-and-coming singer-songwriters. But before doing so, I get them to tell their stories of why they wrote their songs. Example, Square Circles, a band started by a journalist who left the industry because he felt the news told by the media was being coerced by political parties who were the major stakeholders. The songs they wrote reflected the frustration and challenges faced by a journalist. That's Square Circles right there. Then I went on to create something else, an offshoot called StoryTime in Schools, which reaches out to primary and secondary students in Malaysia who follow the Ministry of Education's syllabus. Research done with retired and current teachers told us that in classrooms, a lot of these children, when their English lessons are being taught, they don't get to read aloud, and so when losing out on reading aloud, they don't get to hear the text, and they don't learn pronunciation and enunciation. And I think it's very important because that's how I learned to speak and how I learned the language. Free subscription is given to our audio stories from their current textbooks, and they are sent to teachers, parents, students, and any individual wanting to get these stories. Gift a Story is a unique, you can find out more about it on our website. In conclusion, thank you PechaKucha for this opportunity to reach your members all over the world. Since we are all storytellers with stories of our own lives, I'd like to stress the importance of listening to stories. So please share our podcast, Storytime with the Jumping JellyBeans, which can be found on our website, StoryTimeJJB.com, to help spread the word. Keep creating your stories. Hari Om.